All right, so today I just wanted to go over a stock called Rigetti Computing, and they're a part of a bigger branch of stocks that all do quantum computing. And um, Rigetti was a stock that was kind of unknown before December, and then they had a huge jump in December, and going into January, they went up to $20, and everyone was talking about how quantum computing is the big thing, and it's going to be the next multi-billion-dollar industry, $100 billion, trillion-dollar industry. And so I was kind of looking at Rigetti at this time when it was at 20, and I was like, all right, it's a little expensive. It's run up a lot. And then it dropped all the way down to 6. And that was mainly because a lot of the big CEOs, especially NVIDIA CEO, was saying how there's a little while before quantum computing would really break out into, the trillion-dollar business that and sector that most people thought it was going to be. So ever since then, it's really been hovering around this like 10 to 15 to like $10 to $13 mark, whatever. I think everyone kind of forgot about it, and that's kind of why I'm making this video now, is to remind people that it is still an amazing time to invest. This is such a small company. Again, only around $2.5 billion market cap. It's still such a small company, and I think that people kind of forget really the hype, and the reason that it went all the way to 20 from really like $1 is because this is a legit sector that is in the making. The technology is elite. It is unheard of. It could change the way certain companies run. I know that companies like Microsoft and even Nvidia and Meta and whatever are starting to think about using these quantum computing technologies, and that come from these companies like Rigetti, which is probably the most well-known one. And I think it's something obviously that's not right now, isn't at its peak, but it is still developing, and the technologies are starting to really develop. And obviously, the reason that these stocks haven't really taken off yet is because the revenues aren't really there. But I think that people kind of forgot, and they kind of stopped talking about these quantum computing stocks ever since the NVIDIA CEO said negative things about them. But in reality, they're just as legit of stocks ever since he said that. And they have the potential, again, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but they have potential in the next 5 to 10 years to be $100 billion companies as long as the revenues start flowing in. So, if I just take a look at the revenues here, right now they're a $2.6 billion market cap, and they don't even make money really. They make, $0.01 billion. It's like $10 billion. It's nothing. $10 million. It's nothing. That's really nothing. And if you think about it, it just really, they're not even close to their potential yet. They aren't even making money yet, really. And these stocks are still 2 billion market caps because of the hype. It's really just the hype. And this hype, again, the second they start making money, which they are pretty much guaranteed to do at some point, it's really just when the technologies are continue to develop, which they are now, and more companies start using them, which will be in the near future. Again, I already know they're doing partnerships with Microsoft, and those are just getting started, and they're developing new chips, whatever. Those are just getting started. So once you see these revenues start to hit, the millions and multi-millions and even billions, this stock could easily reach a $100 billion market cap. And I think people kind of forget about that. And if you even look into the net income here of these stocks, of Rigetti, they're losing money right now. That's obviously, and even when they're losing money, their stock's still doing fine, because really it's, again, they're losing less and less money if you see as we go on here, which is a nice trend. But it's really just, I think people don't realize how valuable quantum computing can truly become, and they're starting to forget about this. And now, which we're at a great buying price, it's been down a little bit. It's kind of up and down recently, but we're at a great buying price, because at any point when in one of their earnings, whether that's this year, next year, whatever, they could start making money. They could start hitting the multi-millions and billions of dollars in profit. This stock could absolutely soar. And I think it's smart. If I were, I have already done this myself. And if I were you, I would buy just, 100 shares of this company, whatever. and let it ride, and really just be there for the quantum computing ride, because it is basically like it is destined to be a huge thing. They don't just make technology like this and just forget about it and then the stocks go bankrupt. No, this is the start of something huge. I think that people are now forgetting about it a little bit. It's not getting as much talk because, whatever, it's just something in the future. But again, even if it's something in the future, it doesn't matter. This is an amazing, amazing time to buy. So if I were you, put in 100 shares of it into Rigetti and just kind of forget about it and come back in 5 to 10 years. And, you could be making so much money, because really just once the technology really gets off the road, gets off the ground, and more and more companies start using the quantum computing technology, that's when the revenues and the profits start to soar. And that's when you see the stock price and market cap really start to go up. So let me know what you think in the comments. But if I were you, and I've already done this myself, just invest 50 to 100 shares and just kind of let it ride. I think it's sooner rather than later that that they start to really soar, because I think they're only really going to start to see an uptrend in the revenues and in the net incomes. I think that's really how it's going to go now, because their consolidation phase is almost over, and they're still working on their tech, but they're starting to get deals with companies. So, just put some thought into it. And if I were you, especially at 1075, it's a very, very good buying price. It's down a little bit from that $20 mark that it got from the hype. I would put some money into it and kind of just forget about it and come back. And I think people will be talking about this stock a lot more in the next couple months and couple years. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah.